Got a lot of time on your hands. You might be thinking that it's time to trash your old and tired furniture, get some new furniture, but you can give your old furniture a new life. Well, joining us today is Kaylin Cummins-Prentice, who's with Olive Juice Chicago, and you specialize in saving some of that old furniture?
I do, Larry.
Tell me a little bit about Olive Juice.
Well, we refurbish old antiques and kind of give them new life. We do everything from furniture to upholstery, tables, and small antiques.
You're located where, North Side?
We're actually in Old Town.
Old Town, okay. Tell me what you would do with one of these pieces if you've got one here that's all nicked up and scratched because you've been drinking coffee and eating pizza on it for years. How do you refurbish it?
Well, I found these two pieces actually at Brown Elephant, which is a vintage store. And what I've done to these pieces, I gave them new life by painting them red, added a little gold detail on the feet and little handle. And then I kind of did the same thing with the chair, just painted it, took it to my upholsterer.
So this is the old here with the price tag on it still and a little rip in the back, and you just touch it all up.
Yeah, this is actually, the set was $30, and I put it in together and maybe spent $100 altogether in refurbishing it.
How can you decide when you look at one of your pieces whether you should save it or try and refurbish it?
Well, you know, I always like to think of how much you're going to put into it as opposed to buying a new piece. Like for instance, this one, I can't redo the cane, but I can reupholster the back. So I always like to think if I can actually fix it. And if it's something not worth keeping, trash it. But if it's something you could paint and spend a little bit of money to make it look new, why not try it?
And what if you're really emotionally attached to a piece and you don't want to give it up, but you also don't want to lose the look? Is there a way to kind of save the look without painting over it?
Definitely. You could always refinish the wood and kind of pick a new similar fabric. If you want to keep it looking just as new as it was 30 years ago, you could go that route. I like the quality of adding something new to something old, so just adding a whole new life to it. But you could definitely refurbish and kind of keep the old air.
Where do you find most of the pieces that you work with? You said the White Elephant is where you got these, but where do you find most of the stuff you use?
Estate sales, garage sales. I always break for garage sales if I'm driving in the suburbs. You can get them really anywhere. Dumpsters, if you want to go that far.
I've done that for some of my stories, but we won't get into that, okay? And I don't pull the furniture out, I'm looking for documents. But actually you can go into dumpsters and get some old furniture.
Well, sometimes I noticed, at least in the city, they leave like a chair or a table that's been discarded, and if it's worth keeping, I don't mind looking at it to see if it's worth keeping.
Yeah. And what if you've got a black lab like I had for many years who, as a puppy, just chewed this up to shreds? What do you? Any way to save it?
That might be a question to ask your upholsterer. If he can remake the cushion, it might be worth saving. But
you talking about the black lab or the furniture?
Both.
Okay.
It might be worth saving. It just all depends on how distressed it is.
Yeah, yeah. And you've got a website, I understand, where people can get details about your pieces?
I do. My brother actually built my website, and it's olivejuicechicago.com.
Alrighty. Thanks very much for joining us today. Great way to spend part of your summer looking for pieces like these.
Definitely.
Thanks, Kaylin.
All right. Thanks, Larry.
Appreciate it. When we come back, we'll have all of your top stories for the day, plus is Mayor Dave